For that update indeed. We're going to take you now to Greenwich in South London. Tom Parmenter is at a cafe there. He's been getting the reaction from people there. They've been obviously digesting the Prime Minister's speech. Tom.
Yeah, the kind of issues that David Cameron has been talking about, of course, affect many different communities in different ways, and many here in Greenwich have seen the sharp end of some of the issues that David Cameron was talking about. You remember the killing of Lee Rigby outside the barracks in Woolwich by Michael Adebowale and Michael Adebolajo, a crime that was very much rooted in a lot of the ideology that David Cameron has been speaking about. And one of the people who talked to us at the time of that killing was Baris Gaik, the owner of the Shisha Cafe in Greenwich. Baris, you see an awful lot of young Muslim British people who have that difficulty with a lot of things that they hear in foreign policy, and a lot of things they hear from government. Has anything changed since the killing in Woolwich?
Changed in what regard? I mean, the change that we're seeing is more to do with the way that the media is portraying Muslims. The changes are more to do with the laws that are being introduced, the way that it's becoming more draconian. I mean, the views of people, young Muslims especially, has never really been extreme. That's a media portrayal of it. I mean, when you're talking about people, I heard in the speech he was talking about the number of radicalised people that are going over to Syria. From reports, from official reports, you're talking about around 600 UK citizens since the beginning of the Syria conflict. Not all of them are going to fight for ISIS. A lot of them are going to fight for factions that the British government supports. So when we're talking about people going over and fighting or extremist views, some of them are fighting for what Britain believes in. So of the ones that aren't, the ones that are fighting for ISIS, so to speak, you know, you're talking about, according to US official reports, 31,000 official fighters in the ISIS army. Of those, let's say 300 of them are UK citizens. We're going to change laws, we're going to introduce all of these draconian measures, we're going to start policing schools and talking about almost like the thought police. You know, that you can't even think what you want to think. You can't, you know, we're talking about extremist views. We're talking about people who want to debate the issues of foreign policy, what we're doing out there, how we're doing it, whether it's right or wrong. You know, what views need to change. The views that need to change are the ones of the British government.
Let's take one of the policies set out in detail, the ability for parents to cancel a child's passport.
Some measures are more moderate than others, and that, for example, giving power to parents, you know, I'm very against the Big Brother state. So, for example, if he was to say that the government has the right to take passports away of British citizens, would be a lot different than parents. You know, parents have a lot more responsibility, there's love involved, you know. So, me, for example, if I were to think that my child wanted to go abroad to do something that I didn't agree with, you know, it could be anything, it could be drug dealing, it could be whatever I feel. If I had the right to take their passport away up until a certain age, then I would take that right. Yeah, I think that some of the things that he's talking can be seen as being moderate, but that's all hidden within, you know, as they always do with all legislation. They always hide the things that they really want to do and give us things that they think that might appease us. You know, and I mean as a populace, not as a Muslim, as a populace of people in the United Kingdom.
There are some big ideas within that, just finally. The idea is that this is creating a safer United Kingdom for our children and grandchildren.
If we look at all of the policies that have been in place since the Iraq War, you know, 15 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, what policy can you name that has made Britain safer? Not one. Not one policy that we've put out so far has changed anything for the better. It has 100% made things worse. So all of the policies, we're not talking about what the fighters are doing, we're not talking about what extremists are doing, we're not talking about what armies are doing, we're talking about policies within this country, within our borders. None of them have done any positive effect whatsoever. None. No legislation, nothing is in. I'm guaranteeing you that all of the legislation he's putting forward, Snooper's Charter and, you know, encryption controls and blah, 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 none of them will stop any of these terrorist activities. They will just stop the freedoms of average, everyday people in this country. And they're using Muslim extremism as an excuse.
Baris, okay, many thanks for joining us on Sky News this lunchtime and sharing those views. And it is something that is going to cause a great deal of debate in the coming days, what David Cameron said. He, of course, has set out his stall for the second term as Prime Minister, and this is one of the key themes within it.
Okay, Tom Parmenter, thank you. Still to come on Sky News.